This is the Bush Whisperer coming at you from the beautiful Penguin Sanctuary, Boulders, Cape Town, southern tip of Africa. Safety and security. Come to talk to you about security today. I heard nature talking to me, beautiful in undertones. I heard caracal cats fighting in the distance, the penguins gossiping. Security. Security is not an external thing, though it comes across very much as an external thing for nature. When nature talks, she can talk with a loud voice. If you've ever seen an animal hunt another animal, you'll understand what I mean. Or when the bird lands on the floor and digs the worm out of the soil, the worm's security is being robbed of it. But what is security when we consider it from a human perspective? And how can we get a handle on security? Security is very much a principle of the masculine. Did an awesome conversation about the masculine recently, and it's something quite fundamental when we consider the notion of security and being secure within oneself. The financial system at the moment is not that secure. I'm going to plug somebody's page, Bird Dog, Ronan the Bird Dog. And take a look at my channel at the bottom. You'll see Ronan the Bird Dog's channel is one of my recommended channels. He's helping people to find financial security. He's a friend of mine. He was also part of the masculinity conversation. He's a good guy. Ethical, decent, honorable. Security is something that should come from within us. It should be something that emanates from deep, from the center. I consider security as being one of the fundamental radiant rays of the masculine principle, as it's radiating from the deepest aspects of our being. And security is also a big part of expression. Security is also sec. It's related to time. It's related to the groups that we allow ourselves to be in. So it has a lot to do with the consciousness that we allow ourselves to absorb through the feminine principle, and how that becomes the radiant principle of masculinity. It is the role of a man to protect the family, to maintain the security, the boundaries. So boundaries can be seen as an emanation of security. Personal boundaries, interpersonal boundaries, the boundaries of your home. At my home, they're my dogs, myself, and my katana. That is the security for my family. I live in South Africa. So, something that we've forgotten, and something that seems to be quite fundamental to the spiritual path, is that what we give to the world is what we're going to give back. What it's going to give back to us and what we're going to receive. And what we receive is going to program what we give. So the words we use are quite fundamental. I did a piece on NLP. It's in the first series, and it's best to follow both of these seasons from beginning to end to get the best from them. But if you haven't seen season 1, start it from the beginning and you'll see this will come up. It's quite important for us to be able to grasp how we can literally shape our consciousness with words, and how the words that we do use inevitably will shape our consciousness. Whether we are cognitively aware of this, conscious of this or not, it's almost secondary, immaterial. The reality is, the words you choose will produce a sense of security or insecurity. If you speak in pessimistic tones of what can go wrong in the future, you will generate currents of fear within your subconscious. And these currents of subconscious fear will thus become whispers. And the whispers, you will take them back in and absorb them through the feminine principle. And then you will start to radiate this. And insecurity will slowly creep into one's consciousness. The other way that we can become insecure is by denial. If we can't face what we're afraid of, we will become insecure. This will be a subconscious radiance and an awareness that we're not facing what we're afraid of. So there's a very fine line. It's a bit of a double-edged sword if you get right down to it. Facing what you're afraid of and watching what you say. And by watching what you say, I want you to consider that we speak through our thoughts to ourselves. And on the inner ear, there is a resonant frequency of vibration, which are the words that we are thinking in our minds. And we speak them to each other in a subtle way, and we speak them to ourselves in a not so subtle way. As when you're alone with your thoughts, you can hear yourself thinking. So what we say is also what we think, because what we think becomes what we will say. And what we think, based on what we say, is based on what we feel, which is based on what we've said before, and what we feel is the reason we've said what we said before. So there's this continuity, and the whole thing fits together like a very beautiful paradigm of reflection. As above, so below, the polarities. The shaman enters into a state of security by letting go of all things, by letting go of all worries, all thoughts, all considerations, all self-consciousness, and embracing the principle of rhythm with absolution, allowing the principle of rhythm to become the guiding force for one's limbs, guiding one's consciousness upon a journey to the inner planes, and allowing any fears, any thoughts, any worries, any doubts to be absorbed by the rhythm. And so the rhythm restructures the field of consciousness, creating the synergy between what is expressed and what is the impression of reality, and towards a state of inner harmony, so that the inner harmony can come out as an expression of being. This is the path of the shaman. To understand this and to grasp this in its most fundamental roots is to become balanced in a harmonious state, and in this state there can be no insecurity. So you can take a page of the shaman's book and you can practice this in your own life. By becoming aware of the rhythms of life, and by embedding one's consciousness within the rhythms, one can start to gain a sense of security. Patterns are important, the patterns that we do. When you wake up, dogs are very fundamentally attuned to these cycles. This is why we say dogs are so fundamentally lunar. Because to a dog, the cycles really matter. To a cat, which is a solar animal, the cycles aren't so fundamental. And the cycles are a fundamental expression of the feminine principle in this day and age. That was different in past times and will be different in the future, as per the movement of our consciousness, the revolution of our spheres, the center of the galaxy with regards to the world we're in, and the principles manifesting through and around the dynamic between these two extremities of being. So to understand that cycles being the fundamental integrating factor of the feminine principle, when one can become in tune and in harmony with this, in the way that the shaman does, the masculine expression becomes a reflection of this. And the closer one is to the harmony of the cycles of time, the closer one is to the harmony of the expression of the sublime. And so the harmony of the cycles of time can take us inward, through the feminine principle, into the sublime. Though the expression thereof is the masculine principle, and from thence we derive security. So when someone is insecure, they're out of rhythm with the world. They're out of rhythm with themselves. And the thinking currents produce these emotional states that we can call worry, anxiety, fear. I also did a video about anxiety. Smash the like button and share this video. Get it out there. Let people see it. Maybe it can help people. I hope you're getting something from it. Also bear in mind that hope, as I've just said, we should watch our words, can become a negative tower. Depends on what one hopes for. If one hopes and starts to expunge upon one's hopes and become entrapped in the hopes, one can then become stuck in the cycles. And if anything becomes a habit, one needs to watch what the habits are. So these cycles are so fundamental. what cycles we choose, what we do as a habitual pattern, is what's going to structure the inner self. And so you have total control over your security, over your safety. And safety is an expression of security. It's why I always suggest to men to go and practice martial arts. Martial arts attunes you to your rhythm, to the rhythm of your breath, to the rhythm of the dance, to the rhythm of the movement between yourself and your mock opponent. In order to gain a sense of perspective, one is then in this state of functionally experiencing timing. For timing is the deciding factor in any fight. As any fighter would tell you, timing is everything. So those that are in tune with their timing become amazing, awesome fighters, because they're able to dance with the rhythm within themselves and able to tune into the rhythm of others. And so the rhythm of others becomes an expression of what we experience within ourselves, and our masculine principle forces us to be in sync with those rhythms. And so we are able to know what the opponent will do before they do, before they know, before they do, before they act. And on an intuitive level, we will be able to transcend their action with the rhythmic action of causality, putting them in a state of dependence upon our rhythm. So to understand that the whole universe, in the same way, can be considered as inverted commas an opponent. If we become in tune and in rhythm with the nature of the world around us, we are in a state of security within ourselves, because we understand that we will be able to adapt to any situation. And that ability to adapt is truly security, produces true safety within us. And that safety radiates from us. And so we start to attract, through the principle of harmonic resonance, situations that respond and are in sync with the security that we're expressing. I hope you've enjoyed this little talk. Do subscribe so you don't miss daily uploads to this video. Have an absolutely awesome day. Don't forget to smile. Smiling is a big part of security, because when you start the rhythm of smiling, the smile becomes an expression of what you feel, and you start to feel the smile more and more. And it doesn't take much to smile at people when you walk past them. And you can see how people's faces light up when they see somebody radiating this beauty at them. And the more you become in tune to this beauty that radiates between people, the more you'll feel secure within yourself, because you'll realize that you've started a new rhythm, and that rhythm brings you into a state of inner balance. And inner balance is the true nature of power. The shamans from China understand this. We call it Wu Dao, the Yang Yin. And from thence, all power can be derived. This is the Bush Whisperer, coming at you from the beautiful Cape Agulhas. Have a truly amazing day. Start restructuring the rhythms around yourself so that you can find the inner harmony that produces safety. The safety that you can feel who you are, express who you are in the world. Be true to yourself, without reproach, without consideration of any weakness. For weakness and strength are just two parts of a polarity. Have a gorgeous day. Don't forget to like and share. Om Shanti.